Have you noticed how some people seem unshakable, even in the face of life's greatest challenges, while others are shaken by every setback? The truth is, it's not luck or privilege, but a continuous practice, a way of thinking and acting that anyone can learn. Stoic philosophy, taught by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, shows that real strength doesn't come from what happens outside us, but from how we respond, how we cultivate mental discipline and self-mastery. Imagine being able to face problems with calm, turn frustrations into learning, and maintain clarity even under pressure. Sounds impossible? What if I told you there are daily habits, simple yet powerful, capable of shielding your mind against any adversity? In the next few minutes, you'll discover 8 Stoic habits that will teach you to act with purpose, control your emotions, and live with resilience. Get ready to see life in a way few dare to look, and feel the power of Stoic wisdom in practice, transforming your mind into something truly unshakable. When we think about living well, many people mistakenly believe that controlling everything is a sign of strength. But here's where Stoic philosophy comes in, practiced masterfully by Marcus Aurelius and Seneca. True freedom lies in recognizing that there are situations beyond our control. Imagine spending hours stressing over traffic, other people's opinions, or the weather, only to realize that despite all the anxiety, none of it changes. Self-mastery isn't about trying to shape the world in your favor, but about mastering yourself in the face of circumstances. In daily life, this means taking a deep breath when someone cuts in line or when a work project goes off plan. Stoic philosophy teaches us to put energy into what depends on us, our actions, choices, reactions, and let go of what is beyond our reach, building serenity instead of frustration. Epictetus said, "It's not things themselves that disturb us, but our opinions about them." How many times have you let a negative comment affect your mood, even knowing you had no power over someone else's perspective? Accepting what you cannot control is, in practice, recognizing this difference and acting with self-control. It's like building an inner fortress. The more you focus on your mental discipline, the more resilient you become to external storms. At home, at work, or on social media, small situations test our balance. An unexpected message, a delay, a sudden change. Your reaction is not dictated by the event itself, but by your choice to respond calmly or with emotional outburst. Stoic thoughts act as a map, guiding you toward wisdom without getting lost in useless frustration. A practical example is dealing with tense work meetings. You don't control colleagues' behavior or final decisions, but you control your posture, tone, and preparation. Marcus Aurelius applied this philosophy daily, reminding himself that wasting time on irritation or resentment squanders his own energy. This doesn't mean passivity. On the contrary, you act intentionally, but without clinging to outcomes beyond your reach. Serenity arises when you understand that life isn't suti, about manipulating everything but shaping your mind and emotions to remain unshaken by external chaos. The beauty of this Stoic habit is that it frees you from anxiety and fear of the unexpected. Imagine an entrepreneur starting a new project. Contracts may be delayed, clients may back out, suppliers may fail. You control none of this, but you can control your preparation, your reaction, and your discipline at every step. Resilience is built gradually, like bricks of an inner fortress. Seneca said, "No wind is favorable to the sailor who doesn't know where to go." And the lesson is clear. Accepting external limits allows you to focus energy where it truly matters. This is what makes Stoic philosophy practical and applicable, almost like a manual for emotional survival. Another important point is distinguishing responsibility from obsession. Accepting what you cannot control is not avoiding action, but acting on what depends on you and releasing what doesn't. Imagine, for instance, studying for an important exam. You control how much you prepare, but not the topic the teacher will choose. mental discipline kicks in and self-control prevents unnecessary frustration. Here, Stoicism's practical wisdom shines. A mind trained to discern what is and isn't under your control gains freedom and clarity. Stoic thoughts remind us that every moment offers a choice, to suffer or to act with virtue. In everyday life, acceptance doesn't mean resignation. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Stoic reflections to strengthen his own resilience. If something happens, don't worry about what you cannot change. Focus on what depends on you. Applying this means looking at setbacks and, instead of panicking, asking yourself, what can I do now in the best possible way? This simple question puts you in control of your mind, cultivating serenity. Small gestures like pausing before replying to an annoying email or stepping back in an argument are exercises of self-mastery that, accumulated, create a routine of emotional fortitude. And it's not just in tense situations that this applies. Everyday life is full of the unexpected. Traffic, lines, plan changes, surprising news. Each moment is an opportunity to train self-control and strengthen Stoic philosophy. Mental discipline develops like a muscle. The more you exercise it, the more natural serenity becomes. Epictetus reinforces, freedom is the only thing that cannot be taken from you if you maintain it internally. The Stoic lesson is clear. Nothing external has power over your inner peace unless you allow it. Accepting limits also creates space for empathy and understanding. When you realize that everyone acts according to their own perception and not under your command, frustration and conflict decrease. Stoic wisdom reminds us that judging the world requires moderation, but judging oneself is a responsibility. Applying this is simple. In discussions, try to understand before reacting. In traffic, imagine the other person acting from their perspective. In criticism, consider whether it deserves your time or merely fuels negative emotions. In this way, every experience becomes an opportunity to grow, and every challenge a chance to practice virtue. Ultimately, accepting what you cannot control is a daily invitation to live better, lighter, and with less emotional wear and tear. Internalizing this practice makes obstacles less threatening and surprises less stressful. The philosophy of life taught by Marcus Aurelius Seneca and Epictetus isn't distant theory. It's a tool for facing the real world with serenity, resilience, and self-control. And as this practice solidifies, the next Stoic habit naturally emerges, because a mind that masters what it cannot control is already prepared for discipline, reflection, and continuous growth. Practicing daily discipline is like training a muscle few people know exists, but when strengthened, it transforms your entire life. Stoic philosophy teaches us that self-mastery isn't just about avoiding excess, but creating routines that shape the mind and prepare the spirit to face any adversity. Marcus Aurelius woke up early, reflected on his thoughts, and wrote, keeping focus on actions that depended on him. Mental discipline arises from consistent habit, not sporadic effort. In daily life, this means small choices: getting up on time, meditating for a few minutes, planning tasks without procrastinating. Epictetus reminds us that inner freedom is built through daily practice. Stoic philosophy isn't about perfection, but consistency. You don't need to change everything at once, but you must commit to small steps that, added together, create a powerful routine of self-mastery. This is where resilience and serenity begin to emerge almost automatically. Daily discipline shows itself in concrete actions we repeat even when we don't feel like it. Seneca wrote about the importance of mastering momentary desires and cultivating habits that strengthen virtue. This applies to any area: health, work, studies, or relationships. For example, choosing to read 20 pages of a book on Stoic philosophy every day, even when tired, is a choice that exercises self-control. The secret isn't just in knowledge, but in internalizing Stoic thoughts until they naturally guide your life. Planning each day with small goals while respecting priorities helps reduce stress and increases the sense of control. Practical Stoicism teaches that discipline isn't restriction, but the path to freedom. Whoever masters their habits masters their life. To understand discipline as a Stoic practice, it's essential to see that it isn't limited to grand achievements. Marcus Aurelius applied self-mastery to simple actions like daily interactions, remaining calm in the face of criticism and challenges. Every daily choice, from responding patiently to an annoying message to exercising even when you don't feel like it, strengthens the mind. Stoic philosophy reminds us that we don't control everything externally, but we can control our responses. When someone procrastinates, they allow external chaos to dictate their mood. A daily habit of discipline creates resistance to these external influences, promoting serenity. Each small victory becomes a brick in building an inner fortress. Stoic thoughts are tools that shape behavior and thinking. Daily discipline also requires strategic planning. Epictetus suggested dividing the day into moments of conscious action and reflection. For example, setting times for meditation, reading, and productive work prevents distraction and mental fatigue. Stoicism emphasizes that a disorganized mind is fertile ground for anxiety and impulsivity. By creating a consistent routine, a person trains self-mastery and resilience almost effortlessly, making virtuous habits natural. Marcus Aurelius recorded his practices to maintain focus and assess progress. Applying this in modern life can be simple. Write a task list, review goals, prioritize what depends on you. Every planned act is a step toward living better. Another essential aspect of discipline is perseverance in the face of difficulties. No habit is established without repetition, nor without confronting fatigue, temptation, or lack of motivation. Seneca taught that virtue is built by facing obstacles, not avoiding them. Imagine maintaining a habit of studying or exercising. There will be hard days, but consistency is what transforms practice into inner strength. Stoic philosophy provides tools to see these difficulties as growth opportunities. Every time the mind refuses to give in to laziness or impulse, serenity is strengthened. Daily discipline is, therefore, continuous training in self-control, self-mastery, and resilience. Constant practice of discipline also influences relationships and decision-making. A disciplined person manages emotions better, remains serene in conflicts, and responds clearly to complex situations. Marcus Aurelius practiced this even in the Senate, maintaining composure under criticism and pressure. Daily applied philosophy teaches that acting with purpose is more important than reacting impulsively. Stoic thoughts help evaluate each situation before acting, strengthening virtue and Stoic wisdom. Small actions, like listening before responding or planning measured responses, are exercises in discipline that produce long-term results. Applying daily discipline also involves self-awareness. Epictetus said that knowing your own weaknesses is essential to strengthen them. Evaluating habits, recognizing triggers for procrastination or irritation, and adjusting behavior is pure Stoic practice. For example, someone who notices they get distracted by social media can create restricted time periods or focus techniques, cultivating self-control. Each subtle adjustment is training in discipline and virtue. This way, the mind becomes more resistant to distractions and unnecessary emotions. Stoic philosophy becomes tangible because it teaches how to create habits that shape character and responses to the world. Another valuable point is discipline in managing time and energy. Marcus Aurelius, even with a full schedule, valued moments of reflection and rest. This demonstrates that discipline isn't just productivity, but balance. Allocating periods for study, exercise, leisure, and introspection is applied philosophy of life. Daily practice builds not only external results, but inner serenity. Discipline doesn't oppress, it liberates. By training virtuous habits, a person can face the unexpected with clarity, maintain self-control, and strengthen resilience. Each disciplined act contributes to Stoic wisdom, creating lasting emotional stability. Finally, daily discipline is the link that connects acceptance and reflection. After accepting what cannot be controlled, a disciplined mind acts in a structured way, avoiding being swept away by external chaos. Small conscious choices, repeated every day, solidify self-mastery and strengthen practical stoicism. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that every deliberate action is an opportunity to practice virtue. And by cultivating this consistency, the mind naturally prepares for the next step, reflecting on emotions and understanding your own reaction to the world, advancing on the journey to live better with serenity and Stoic wisdom. Reflecting on your own emotions is like turning on a light inside the mind to see clearly what often dominates us without our awareness. Stoic philosophy teaches us that we are not victims of feelings, but that we can observe, understand, and direct them. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Stoic reflections about the importance of questioning every reaction, every impulse, as if the mind were a garden to be cultivated. Epictetus stated that happiness depends on perception, not external circumstances, and that knowing your emotions is the first step in exercising self-mastery. In daily life, this means identifying moments when anger, fear, or anxiety arise, and asking yourself, does this emotion serve me or hinder me? Stoic wisdom lies in not being carried away by feelings, but in observing them with mental discipline, cultivating serenity and balance. Observing your own emotions does not mean suppressing them, but understanding them. Seneca taught that virtue emerges when we can choose how to respond to any situation. For example, someone who feels offended by criticism can, instead of exploding, reflect on what truth the criticism contains, separate the useful from the useless, and act thoughtfully. Stoic philosophy is practical. It's not about denying feelings, but transforming them into learning. Stoic thoughts, when applied, help create an internal space where serenity prevails, even amid conflicts or external pressures. Mental discipline, cultivated daily, strengthens this reflective capacity, allowing each emotion to become a tool for growth rather than an obstacle. Marcus Aurelius used diaries and meditations to analyze his own reactions, strengthening self-mastery and self-control. This reflective practice is essential to perceive emotional patterns that limit us. Imagine someone who easily becomes irritated by delays. Reflecting on this emotion involves questioning its origin. Is it unmet expectation, impatience, or fear of wasting time? By identifying the root, the person can act consciously, transforming a negative impulse into an opportunity for development. Practical Stoicism teaches that every moment of self-knowledge is a brick in building a resilient mind, capable of facing challenges with clarity and Stoic wisdom. Reflection on emotions also helps us anticipate reactions in complex situations. Epictetus said that it's impossible to control everything, but it is possible to prepare the mind to act virtuously. For example, when preparing for a presentation or important meeting, recognizing fear or anxiety allows you to plan strategies to stay calm and focused. Mental discipline becomes an ally of serenity, while Stoic philosophy guides us toward balanced decisions. Small exercises, like taking a deep breath before responding to tense messages or writing down thoughts before acting, help transform impulsive reactions into conscious responses, strengthening self-mastery and self-control. Furthermore, reflecting on emotions promotes empathy and understanding. By understanding that anger, sadness, or frustration are natural and temporary phenomena, it is possible to also observe the feelings of others without rushed judgment. Seneca reminded us that each person acts according to their own perception, not under our command. Applying this means, for instance, listening before reacting, considering different perspectives and avoiding unnecessary conflict. Practical Stoicism teaches that inner peace depends both on controlling your own emotions and understanding others' minds, creating more balanced and conscious relationships. A practical exercise recommended by Marcus Aurelius is to review your day at the end of each journey, analyzing moments when the mind was carried away by negative emotions, asking, how could I have responded better? Or did this emotion contribute to my virtue? Strengthens mental discipline and self-awareness. Small daily reflections transform the way we deal with challenges, making philosophy of life tangible. Constantly applied Stoic thoughts make the mind less vulnerable to external pressures, developing resilience and emotional clarity. Each reflective habit is a step toward a calmer and more controlled life. Reflecting on emotions also teaches us not to identify completely with fleeting feelings. Epictetus said, "We are observers of our reactions, not captives of them." When frustration arises from a setback or criticism, recognizing that this feeling is temporary allows for a more rational response. Stoic wisdom suggests that instead of reacting automatically, we ask, is this emotion useful right now? This creates space for conscious choices, strengthening virtue, self-control, and resilience. Small acts, like pausing before speaking or writing, make Stoic philosophy tangible in everyday life, cultivating serenity. Another essential point is recording emotional insights. Marcus Aurelius wrote his Stoic reflections to organize the mind and evaluate his own behavior. Applying this practice can be simple. Keep a journal, note reactions to difficult situations, and reflect on how you could act better. This discipline creates awareness of emotional tendencies and promotes continuous growth. Stoic philosophy teaches that every moment of introspection is an opportunity for self-mastery, transforming seemingly negative emotions into valuable learning. Consistent daily reflection solidifies the mind and strengthens the ability to live better. Finally, reflecting on emotions naturally connects to the next Stoic habit, facing challenges as tests. By understanding and managing feelings, a person prepares to face adversity with courage, discipline, and clarity. Each emotion analyzed and understood becomes a tool for growth, shaping the mind to respond with virtue and Stoic wisdom. In this way, the cycle of self-mastery and resilience continues, paving the way to apply discipline and self-control in real-life situations, while practical Stoicism becomes inseparable from daily life. Facing challenges as tests is one of the pillars of Stoic philosophy, transforming every obstacle into an opportunity for growth. Marcus Aurelius viewed each difficulty not as punishment, but as a chance to exercise virtue and mental discipline. Stoic philosophy teaches that external problems are neutral. What matters is how we react to them. Imagine someone facing a work delay or an unexpected personal issue. The choice between despair and serenity determines whether the challenge strengthens or weakens the mind. Resilience is born from accepting that life will test our limits and that every test is a lesson. Stoic thoughts remind us that suffering without learning is wasted, while facing adversity with self-control creates maturity and inner freedom. Every challenge offers an opportunity for self-mastery. Seneca said, "Difficulty shows the man." Applying this means transforming everyday obstacles into exercises of patience and wisdom. For example, someone dealing with a difficult colleague can use the situation to train calmness, clarity in communication, and empathy. Practical Stoicism teaches that we cannot control others' attitudes, but we can control our response. Small tests like delays, criticism, or unexpected events become laboratories for practicing mental discipline and self-control. Marcus Aurelius wrote about this every day, reinforcing the importance of confronting difficulties as opportunities for growth and personal improvement. True learning happens when we turn each difficulty into active reflection. Epictetus taught that every challenge should be assessed as a lesson, not a barrier. For instance, a high-pressure work situation can reveal areas for improvement, such as time management or communication skills. Stoicism in practice teaches us to separate emotion from action. Feeling frustration is natural, but acting virtuously is a conscious choice. Every challenge overcome strengthens the mind and solidifies virtuous habits. Stoic thoughts help maintain the right perspective, reminding us that the world is unpredictable, but the mind's response is firm ground where we can exercise control and develop resilience. Challenges also function as training for self-knowledge. Marcus Aurelius used each difficulty to observe his own reactions and improve behavior. A test can be small, like dealing with a delayed commute, or large, like facing a professional crisis. The key is not to react automatically, but to reflect and act with self-control. Stoic philosophy shows us that mental discipline strengthens through repeated encounters with adversity, making the mind more resistant to future problems. Each obstacle is an opportunity to practice patience, clarity, and virtue, turning daily routines into a training ground for Stoic wisdom. Additionally, facing challenges as tests strengthens emotional resilience. Seneca said, "No wind favors he who does not know where he is going," and confronting difficulties prepares us to navigate uncertain situations. In daily life, this means accepting delays, frustrations, and criticism as part of the journey, using each moment to practice emotional control. Stoic philosophy teaches that a prepared mind is not disturbed by the unexpected. Small actions, like responding calmly to provocation or adjusting plans without irritation, accumulate and reinforce daily discipline. Each challenge overcome is a step toward living better and with serenity. A practical aspect of this habit is setting clear goals for how to respond to challenges. Marcus Aurelius applied this principle by writing Stoic reflections each morning, reminding himself how to act virtuously in the face of problems. For example, when dealing with a difficult client, planning thoughtful responses and maintaining patience applies philosophy of life in real situations. Every test becomes an opportunity to demonstrate self-control and Stoic wisdom. Mental discipline appears in proactive preparation for obstacles, turning each difficulty into a chance to strengthen resilience, virtue, and clarity of thought. Challenges also teach humility and realism. Epictetus emphasized that accepting limits and facing difficulties with courage is essential to living serenely. Someone who loses an important contract or receives unexpected criticism can use the moment to review actions, improve strategies, and grow as a person. Practical Stoicism shows that every test is a chance for learning, from minor daily inconveniences to major crises. Stoic thoughts remind us that true strength lies not in avoiding problems, but in facing them with virtue and mental discipline. Furthermore, facing challenges as tests promotes continuous growth. Marcus Aurelius saw every obstacle as part of the education of the soul. For instance, resolving a family disagreement with patience and empathy strengthens character more than avoiding conflict. Daily discipline and reflection on emotions work together here, creating a cycle of constant learning. Each difficulty is an opportunity to apply self-mastery, resilience, and practical stoicism, making life more balanced and meaningful. Small daily tests accumulate into wisdom and emotional stability. Finally, turning challenges into tests naturally prepares a person to cultivate gratitude, which is the next Stoic habit. By recognizing the value of difficulties, the mind understands that every experience, even painful, is an opportunity for growth. Stoic philosophy teaches that real life is not about avoiding problems, but about developing virtue, self-control, and resilience in the face of them. Thus, facing adversity is not only inevitable, but desirable, as each obstacle offers a chance to live better, with serenity and stoic wisdom, while opening space for the next step: cultivating daily gratitude. Cultivating gratitude is one of the most transformative habits in Stoic philosophy, capable of shifting perspective on life and strengthening inner serenity. Marcus Aurelius often reflected on the small benefits and blessings of daily life, reminding himself that every moment deserves appreciation, even amid difficulties. Seneca emphasized that true wealth is not in possessions, but in the ability to value what one has. Gratitude is not merely a fleeting feeling. It is a conscious practice that strengthens the mind and promotes resilience. In everyday life, this can appear in simple actions, such as appreciating a warm cup of coffee in the morning, acknowledging a colleague's effort, or writing down 3 things you are grateful for each day. Stoic thoughts remind us that constant appreciation reduces frustration and increases emotional clarity. Stoic philosophy teaches that being grateful does not mean ignoring problems, but recognizing opportunities for learning and growth. Epictetus said that accepting circumstances with wisdom allows us to extract value from every experience. For instance, someone facing a work challenge can choose to focus on the lessons learned and the skills developed rather than dwell solely on frustration. This exercise of self-mastery transforms obstacles into sources of gratitude and strengthens mental discipline. Small daily habits, such as reflecting on achievements or joyful moments, make the practice of gratitude natural and continuous, fostering serenity and emotional balance. Marcus Aurelius also used gratitude as a tool to handle criticism and conflict. Instead of becoming irritated by others' faults, he reflected on the opportunity to practice patience and virtue. Applying this today could mean mentally thanking someone who opposes you, recognizing the chance to strengthen self-control and resilience. Stoic philosophy in practice shows that every interaction, even negative ones, offers an opportunity for growth. Each gesture of appreciation, no matter how small, reinforces daily discipline and stoic wisdom, helping to build a mind that remains unshakable in the face of adversity. Gratitude also helps reduce comparison and envy, feelings that erode serenity and balance. Seneca reminded us that discontent arises when we focus on what we lack rather than what we possess. By cultivating daily gratitude, a person learns to value their achievements and opportunities, reinforcing self-control and emotional resilience. In everyday life, this can include being thankful for health, work, friendships, or even difficult lessons that contributed to personal growth. Stoic thoughts serve as a compass, reminding us that each small act of acknowledgement strengthens virtue and mental discipline. Practicing gratitude also involves expressing it actively. Marcus Aurelius often wrote reflections on people and experiences he was grateful for, turning Stoic thoughts into concrete actions. Today, this can translate into thank you messages, gestures of recognition, or simply noticing the opportunities life provides. Practical Stoicism teaches that conscious gratitude is mental training, fostering self-control and discipline while opening space for healthier, more harmonious relationships. Every act of appreciation is a brick in the construction of a more serene and balanced life. A powerful gratitude exercise is to revisit the day's challenges and acknowledge positive aspects, even during difficult moments. Epictetus suggested transforming every difficulty into a valuable lesson. For instance, if someone faces excessive pressure at work, they can be grateful for the opportunity to develop patience, resilience, and the ability to handle stress. Applied in this way, Stoic philosophy turns frustration into learning, strengthening mental discipline and self-mastery. Daily reflection contributes to shaping a resilient mind, capable of facing adversity with clarity and Stoic wisdom. Gratitude also directly connects to self-care and daily discipline. Marcus Aurelius believed that recognizing small benefits strengthens the mind and creates emotional balance. In daily life, it is possible to combine moments of reflection with self-care habits, such as healthy eating, exercise, or meditation, reinforcing discipline and serenity. Stoic philosophy teaches that every act of attention and acknowledgement is a way to train the mind to remain centered, cultivating resilience and virtue. Stoic thoughts remind us that living better depends on valuing each moment and learning from every experience. Moreover, the constant practice of gratitude prepares the mind to act with clarity and purpose, which is the next Stoic habit. By valuing what one has, a person learns to focus on the essential, avoiding distractions and impulsive decisions. Seneca emphasized that mental discipline and virtue go hand in hand, and gratitude is an essential tool in this process. Applying this habit means reflecting on priorities, planning conscious actions, and recognizing opportunities for growth. Each day lived with gratitude strengthens self-mastery, resilience, and Stoic wisdom, creating a solid foundation for facing challenges and acting intentionally. Finally, cultivating gratitude opens the way to fully experience Stoic philosophy in practice. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus show us that appreciating every moment, lesson, and interaction transforms life into a rich, serene, and virtuous experience. By internalizing gratitude, the mind becomes stronger, more resistant to frustration, and capable of acting with discipline, self-control, and clarity. And by practicing gratitude daily, a person naturally prepares for the next step, acting with clarity and purpose, applying Stoic principles in every decision of daily life. Acting with clarity and purpose is the practical application of Stoic philosophy in daily life. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that it is not enough to simply react to the world. We must choose conscious actions guided by virtue and mental discipline. Every decision, from simple tasks to complex choices, should reflect intentionality. Epictetus emphasized that we are responsible for how we use our reason, and life transforms when each step is taken with focus and awareness. In everyday life, acting with purpose can be as simple as organizing your schedule strategically, planning responses before discussions, or dedicating time to activities that truly add value. Stoic wisdom teaches that mental clarity emerges when we understand what truly matters, letting go of distractions and fleeting impulses. Stoic philosophy reinforces that acting with purpose does not mean acting without emotion, but acting with self-control. Seneca said that mental discipline allows us to filter thoughts and feelings before turning intention into action. For example, before making a financial decision, it is essential to calmly analyze risks and benefits, avoiding impulsiveness. Small daily habits, like reviewing priorities each morning, writing clear goals, and defining concrete steps, solidify this practice. Stoic thoughts guide us to understand that each conscious action strengthens resilience and virtue, while impulsive decisions can generate regret and emotional strain. Acting with clarity transforms every moment into an opportunity for learning and growth. Marcus Aurelius applied this philosophy even in challenging situations, such as political and personal crises. He reflected before acting, assessing consequences, and maintaining self-control. This habit can be applied today. Before responding to a charged message, pause to breathe and think. Practical Stoicism teaches that clarity of purpose reduces conflicts, strengthens mental discipline, and creates emotional stability. Each planned and conscious action becomes an exercise in self-mastery, making the mind more resistant to external pressures and aligned with virtue and Stoic wisdom. Acting with purpose also means aligning actions with values and life goals. Epictetus stated that happiness depends on living according to reason and virtue, not fleeting desires. For example, choosing to dedicate time to study, exercise, or healthy relationships is acting with intention, while spending hours on meaningless distractions reflects a lack of clarity. Practical Stoicism shows that every conscious decision strengthens daily discipline and resilience, creating consistency between thought and action. Small acts, repeated daily, shape character and consolidate Stoic wisdom. Another aspect is strategic patience. Marcus Aurelius recognized that not everything happens on the desired timeline, but every action must be well considered. Applying this means planning responses and projects without yielding to haste or emotional impulse. For example, before signing a contract, carefully reviewing clauses and impacts demonstrates clarity and self-mastery. Stoic philosophy teaches that acting with purpose is not about rushing decisions, but strengthening mental discipline and resilience. Ensuring that every step aligns with virtue, each conscious choice becomes an exercise of Stoic wisdom applied to real life. Acting with clarity also helps handle criticism and unexpected situations. Seneca reminded us that a disciplined mind is not shaken by external opinions, but responds thoughtfully. For example, if someone receives negative feedback, reflecting on its content and responding constructively is Stoic practice. Stoic thoughts guide us to transform every experience into learning, strengthening self-mastery, daily discipline, and virtue. Small adjustments, such as planning responses, prioritizing important actions, and staying calm in the face of challenges, consolidate clarity and purpose across all areas of life. The practice of acting with purpose requires consistency. Marcus Aurelius wrote Stoic reflections daily to align his actions with virtue. This routine can be adapted today, reviewing goals, evaluating past decisions, and planning the next day are ways to exercise mental discipline and self-control. Life philosophy shows that clarity is not the result of isolated intelligence, but of conscious habit and constant reflection. Every planned action strengthens resilience, creates serenity, and allows facing the unexpected with balance and Stoic wisdom. Acting with clarity and purpose also involves prioritizing what truly matters, avoiding distractions and useless impulses. Epictetus taught that a focused mind is free, while a scattered mind is a slave to external circumstances. Applying this means dedicating time to meaningful projects, cultivating relationships that add value, and eliminating habits that drain energy. Each conscious step strengthens discipline, virtue, and self-mastery, making life more structured and aligned with practical Stoicism. Small daily choices accumulate, creating consistency and resilience in the face of challenges. Finally, acting with clarity and purpose naturally prepares a person to avoid excessive attachment, which is the next Stoic habit. When you learn to plan actions and make conscious decisions, you realize that external outcomes do not define inner peace. Stoic philosophy teaches that living better depends on intention and effort, not total control over everything. Thus, each intentional action, aligned with virtue and self-control, creates a strong and resilient mind, paving the way to apply the next principle: detachment and emotional balance. Avoiding excessive attachment is one of the deepest lessons of Stoic philosophy, capable of transforming how we relate to people, material possessions, and even our own desires. Marcus Aurelius reminds us that nothing outside our mind is completely secure or permanent, and serenity emerges when we do not cling to external circumstances. Stoic philosophy teaches that attachment creates suffering because we become prisoners of everything beyond our control. Epictetus reinforces that true freedom comes from recognizing that inner peace depends on self-mastery, not fleeting things. In daily life, this means noticing when we desire something too intensely or become attached to specific outcomes, remembering that our value and happiness do not depend on them. Mental discipline is strengthened through conscious detachment, creating resilience and virtue with each step. Modern life constantly tests our attachments. Seneca stated that possessions, status, and relationships can be lost at any moment, and Stoic life philosophy invites us not to rely on them for security or self-worth. For example, someone attached to a position or promotion may suffer greatly if the opportunity is lost, while another person, acting with discipline and clarity, understands that their effort and virtue remain intact regardless of the outcome. Stoic thoughts remind us that every intense desire should be examined and, if necessary, moderated. Daily practice of self-mastery strengthens the mind, transforming anxiety and frustration into clarity and serenity. Marcus Aurelius applied this lesson every day, reminding himself that everything is temporary. People, possessions, achievements, and even health can disappear. Internalizing this perspective allows us to act freely without excessive fear of loss. In practice, this may mean detaching from unfair criticism or the expectations of others. Practical Stoicism teaches that detachment does not mean not caring, but rather not allowing attachment to dominate. Each moment of conscious detachment reinforces mental discipline, resilience, and self-control, creating a solid foundation for facing challenges with serenity and stoic wisdom. Avoiding excessive attachment also strengthens relationships. When we are not emotionally dependent on approval or specific outcomes, we can interact with clarity and virtue. Epictetus taught that a mind free from attachment can love and act genuinely without being enslaved to external expectations. For example, in dealing with friends or family, recognizing that we cannot control others' choices or feelings allows us to act with empathy, patience, and self-control, practicing Stoic philosophy in everyday life. Small practices, such as valuing presence over results, strengthen discipline, serenity, and Stoic wisdom. Another important aspect is detachment from professional and financial outcomes. Marcus Aurelius reflected on how crises and losses should not disturb a disciplined mind. In the modern world, this means cultivating strategic planning and conscious effort while accepting that external factors can change outcomes. For example, in investing or entrepreneurship, applying daily discipline and clear reasoning is essential, but understanding that results are not fully under control prevents frustration. Stoic philosophy teaches that a detached mind is more resilient, serene, and capable of acting virtuously in any circumstance. Avoiding attachment also strengthens the ability to face unexpected losses. Seneca emphasized that life is fleeting, and preparing the mind for the unforeseen is essential for living well. For example, when an opportunity disappears or a relationship ends, practicing detachment allows us to accept the situation, learn, and move forward without losing emotional balance. Daily application of Stoic thoughts transforms suffering into learning, strengthening self-control, mental discipline, and resilience. Each challenge faced with detachment is an exercise in virtue and Stoic wisdom. The practice of detachment also extends to controlling internal desires and passions. Marcus Aurelius warned about the power of uncontrolled passions, which can dominate the mind and disrupt serenity. In daily life, this means reflecting before giving in to consumer impulses, anger, or envy. Practical Stoicism teaches that by moderating desires and maintaining clarity of purpose, we strengthen self-mastery and virtue, living in balance. Small exercises, such as questioning the real necessity of each desire or evaluating emotions before acting, cultivate daily discipline and emotional resilience. Avoiding excessive attachment also allows us to live more fully in the present. Epictetus taught that focusing on the now without clinging to the past or future strengthens the mind. For example, appreciating simple moments like talking with friends or walking outdoors without wanting more or worrying about losses cultivates serenity. Applied this way, Stoic philosophy turns everyday habits into practices of wisdom, mental discipline, and virtue. Each step taken with detachment is an opportunity to strengthen self-control and clarity of purpose, preparing the mind for future challenges. Finally, avoiding excessive attachment naturally prepares a person for the last Stoic habit, practicing daily self-reflection. By letting go of results and external expectations, the mind becomes freer to observe itself, reflect on choices, and correct behaviors. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus show us that inner freedom depends on the ability to detach from everything beyond our control, opening space for discipline, self-mastery, and resilience. In this way, the mind grows stronger, life becomes clearer and more virtuous, and the next step, daily self-reflection, arises as the natural continuation of this Stoic journey. Practicing daily self-reflection is the habit that completes the cycle of Stoic philosophy, consolidating all other principles into a conscious and transformative practice. Marcus Aurelius reviewed his Stoic thoughts each night, analyzing every action, word, and reaction throughout the day. This constant reflection allows the identification of behavioral patterns, recurring mistakes, and opportunities for growth. Epictetus emphasized that an examined life is the key to virtue, and without self-awareness, self-mastery, and mental discipline remain superficial. In daily life, this means setting aside a few minutes to reflect on attitudes, thoughts, and choices, asking whether each decision aligned with values, clarity of purpose, and self-control. Stoic wisdom arises when the mind observes itself, recognizes flaws, and celebrates progress, strengthening resilience and serenity. Daily self-reflection also helps recognize emotional patterns that can undermine serenity. Seneca taught that mental discipline is not only about controlling actions, but understanding internal reactions. For example, someone who notices recurring anger in response to criticism can reflect on triggers, adjust responses, and transform emotion into learning. Each reflection is an exercise in self-control and virtue, putting Stoic thoughts into practice. Marcus Aurelius saw this review as an essential tool for living better, learning from each day, and continuously improving, strengthening life philosophy and the ability to face challenges with clarity and balance. Practicing self-reflection also promotes honesty with oneself, a central element of Stoic philosophy. Epictetus warned that sincere self-criticism is the path to inner freedom. In practice, this means examining decisions that did not go as planned, recognizing responsibility without excessive self-blame, and identifying adjustments for improvement. Mental discipline strengthens when we learn to evaluate our own behavior objectively, separating emotion from reason. Each daily review reinforces resilience and Stoic wisdom, allowing mistakes to become opportunities for learning and continuous progress. Regular self-reflection directly connects discipline and virtue. Marcus Aurelius emphasized that recording Stoic thoughts and reviewing actions creates consistency and clarity. For example, keeping a journal with reflections on impulsive actions, moments of gratitude, or situations of detachment helps consolidate learning. Practical Stoicism teaches that small daily reviews, applied with discipline, strengthen self-control, resilience, and mental clarity. Stoic thoughts move from abstractions to real tools for living better, acting with purpose, and cultivating serenity. daily self-reflection also strengthens the ability to plan and adjust future actions. Seneca said that a prepared mind learns from the past without being imprisoned by it. For example, someone facing professional challenges can review previous decisions, recognize successes and failures, and plan new actions more consciously. Practical Stoicism shows that mental discipline and self-mastery are reinforced when we reflect on choices and learn from them. Each night of daily evaluation is an opportunity to strengthen virtue, clarity, and emotional resilience, making life more structured and meaningful. Another benefit of self-reflection is strengthening patience and serenity. Marcus Aurelius reviewed his actions and emotions, learning to react less impulsively and cultivate calm in the face of challenges. In daily life, this means noticing moments when impulses or negative emotions took over, reflecting on the consequences, and planning more balanced responses for the future. Stoic philosophy teaches that each conscious analysis contributes to daily discipline, self-mastery, and resilience, turning difficult experiences into valuable learning and building an increasingly steadfast mind. Practicing self-reflection also improves relationships and communication. Epictetus stated that understanding our own emotions and behaviors allows us to act with empathy and virtue. For example, reflecting on a heated discussion with a friend or colleague helps understand what could have been done more clearly and fairly. Mental discipline, combined with daily reflection, strengthens serenity, self-control, and Stoic wisdom, enabling more conscious and harmonious interactions and turning conflicts into opportunities for learning and growth. Furthermore, daily self-reflection connects all the previous Stoic habits, accepting what cannot be controlled, practicing discipline, reflecting on emotions, facing challenges, cultivating gratitude, acting with clarity and purpose, and avoiding excessive attachment. Marcus Aurelius saw daily review as an opportunity to align thoughts and actions with life philosophy, consolidating virtue and mental discipline. Each night of reflection strengthens resilience, serenity, and self-mastery, preparing the mind to live better, make conscious decisions, and face future challenges with clarity and purpose. Finally, the daily practice of self-reflection creates a continuous cycle of growth. By reviewing thoughts, attitudes, and emotions, the mind becomes more conscious, disciplined, and resilient. Epictetus reminded us that life is short, and each day is a chance to apply Stoic lessons and strengthen virtue. Practical Stoicism turns reflection into action, consolidating serenity, clarity, and self-mastery. And so, by concluding each day with self-reflection, a person naturally prepares to begin the Stoic cycle again the next day, continuing the journey of living better with wisdom, discipline, and resilience. Now that you've learned these 8 Stoic habits, the question is, will you truly apply them in your life, or will you keep reacting to circumstances as you always have? Each habit, from accepting what you cannot control to practicing daily self-reflection, is a powerful tool to transform your mind, strengthen mental discipline, and cultivate resilience. Think about the challenges you face every day. Each one is an opportunity to practice virtue, self-control, and Stoic wisdom. Here's an invitation. Look at your actions today and ask yourself, how can I act with more clarity and purpose? How can I reduce attachment and value what truly matters? If you are willing to put these principles into practice, your mind will become firmer, calmer, and unshakable. So subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and keep learning how to apply Stoic philosophy in practice, turning every challenge into growth and every day into an opportunity to live better.